Hello class and welcome to section 4.4. Again, we are going to split this lesson up into 2 days. Today's lesson, day 1, will focus on parallel and tomorrow's lesson will focus on perpendicular. So the goal for today is to be able to write an equation for a parallel line through a point. So, a reminder, parallel lines, which we've talked about before, parallel lines are lines that do not intersect. One new piece of information that's important for you is parallel lines have the same slope. So notice in these 2 examples, my first one, I go up 3, and then my slope says up 1 and over 2. In the second one, I start by going down 2, and my slope says up 1 and over 2. So these 2 lines are parallel. They have the same slope, even though they have a different b value. So our goal is going to be able to find these 2 parallel lines. So for example, we're going to write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form, remembering that's y equals mx plus b. That is passes through the point -3, 5 and is parallel to the equation y equals 2x minus 4. So the important thing from this equation here, we know that parallel lines have the same slope. So from this equation, the only piece that I care about is the slope. So my slope is 2. And then I care about the point because this is my x and y value. So we're going to plug this in, and there's 2 different ways that you can go about showing these parallel lines. Our first option, which I find to be simpler, is to use that point slope equation to start. So I'm going to say y minus 5 is equal to 2, which is my slope, parentheses x, minus x1. In this case, my x1 is a negative, so that turns into a positive. Then we're going to use that information from the 4.3 day 2 video, and I'm going to go ahead and convert, saying y minus 5 is equal to 2x plus 6. Then in order to get into my slope-intercept equation, then I'm going to go ahead and add 5 to both sides of the equation, giving me y is equal to 2x plus 11. The other option for how to solve this problem is going to be using this y equals mx plus b equation. So I'm still going to start the same. I'm going to use my 5 as y, plug it in and say 2 is my slope, times my x of -3 plus b, x of -3. After I do this, I'm going to go ahead and multiply. So I get 5 is equal to -6 plus b. After that, I'm going to solve for b. So I'm going to go ahead and add 6 to both sides of my equation, giving me 11 is equal to b. And then my final equation is going to be y equals m, which is 2x plus b, which is 11. So you can see that either way, we end up with this same equation of y equals 2x plus 11. And that is the line that is parallel to my original equation, which is y equals 2x. Noticing they have the same slopes. Go ahead and try this one on your own. Again, displaying both options here, I've got my slope is equal to 3. So you can either use the point slope format, solving for y that way, or you can use the y-intercept format, solving for b, and then either way your final equation is going to be y equals 3x plus 10. Going through another example here, we are going to go through one that has a slope as a fraction. So my slope that I'm concerned about, I've got m is equal to 3/4. Again, I'm going to show both ways to solve this problem. You can pick whichever one is more comfortable for you. If you're going to use the point slope format, we've got y minus -1 is equal to slope of 3/4 times x minus 8. Going ahead and distributing, we're going to end up with y plus 1 minus a negative turns into a positive. 3/4 x minus, and then we got 3/4 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4. 24 divided by 4 is going to go ahead and give us an answer of 6. Then I need to finish solving for y by subtracting 1 from both sides of the equation, giving me an answer of y is equal to 3/4 x minus 7. So that is our parallel line. If I come over to the other way and decide to solve for b, I'm going to go ahead and start by saying negative 1 is equal to my slope of 3/4 times 8 plus b. After I multiply, again, I'm going to do 3 times 8 over 1. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4. 24 divided by 4 gives me an answer of 6 plus b. Going ahead and solving for b by subtracting 6 from both sides, I get an answer for b of negative 7, giving me my final equation of y is equal to 3/4 x minus 7. Again, matching the answer that I had on the other side. So my parallel lines are those two right there. Go ahead and try this one on your own. Again, using our point slope format, we distribute, and then we're going to subtract 1. If we're solving for b, we're going to multiply and then add the 20 to the other side. Either way, you get your equation of y is equal to negative 5/6 x minus 19. If you have questions about this or anything else from the lesson, please let me know.